Good evening and welcome to Lower Frederick Township's work session for July 21st of 2026. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, all members of the board are present, including all of our professionals. The township meetings are recorded for the purpose of preparing the minutes, and the recording is destroyed after the minutes are approved. The meeting will be posted online on the township YouTube channel. The link can be found on the Board of Supervisors page on the township website. It is requested that all persons wishing to speak before the board shall state their name, address, and the subject matter upon which they wish to speak for the record. In the interest of facilitating the business of the board, all persons addressing the board shall be limited to 3 minutes, unless such time is extended by the chair for good cause. Individuals are requested to remain in their seats and to respect when other persons are speaking. The Board of Supervisors will provide a reasonable opportunity for citizens to comment on any non-agenda items after all agenda items have addressed, but prior to the adjournment of the public meeting. Our first order of business this evening is the ordinance, data center, and battery storage facilities adoption. Peter?
Yep. Sorry, 2 seconds. We have before you the data center ordinance that has been discussed several times at public meetings. This ordinance has been appropriately advertised for tonight, as well as been sent and reviewed by both the Township Planning Commission and the County Planning Commission. The ordinance is essentially the same as the last time you saw it. If you have any questions, I certainly can answer them, but at this point in time, I am just looking for a vote to enact it.
Does anyone have any questions for Peter? Okay.
Sorry, does that include the public? Does that include the public? Questions?
Yeah, does anyone from the public have any questions? Okay, and Peter, we can...
Anyway, I'll speak loudly. Diane Jurin, 9 Siglerville Road. This is more you teaching me how, when you have an ordinance for people to look at. Diane Jurin. Did you turn it on, Jason? Yes.
Yes, it's on.
When you have an ordinance, where do you go to look at it, to actually read it? So it was advertised, I guess, that we were going to be discussing it here, or you were, but where do you actually read the ordinance?
There's two, officially, there's 3 places you can go.
Okay,
You can come here to the township, and there's a copy here that you can review. There's also a copy that's sent to the Montgomery County Law Library down in Norristown, and they have it on hand to review. And actually, we send a copy to the paper, so you can go to the paper's office and review it.
to the paper's office, but
To
you
the
won't
paper's
read it
office.
in the,
And so, I don't believe it's not put up,
We do have it online.
and we do have it online,
oh, it is online?
yes.
I couldn't find it. You'll have to teach me how to find it. Okay. I wonder if in the future, okay, so it's online, so we could have looked at it, and I just don't know how to do that, and I hope I and other people in the township learn how to do that. So a little training on that, maybe. What is the setback for the data centers?
The setback is 200 feet from property line, 100 feet from a public roadway.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for answering all those questions.
Okay, not seeing any other questions. The motion before us this evening is to adopt ordinance 2026-02, amending the Lower Frederick Township zoning ordinance by adding new uses for data centers and battery storage facilities and setting forth the regulations for such new uses. Can I get a motion?
Also move.
I will make the second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is the Open Space Committee request. You know what? Is Matt Davidson on this evening? Is he on? Do you know, Jason?
I don't see them.
Okay. I know that the Open Space Board had said that maybe Matt would be able to be on Zoom this evening to be here to answer any questions or clarifications on behalf of their request for the agenda item. Vicki said that she would be available by 7:45. Can we move this to the end of our agenda to give her time? Okay, thank you. So we'll move that agenda to the end of our, that item to the end of our agenda. So we'll move on to the Public Works sewer request for the Muffin Monster replacement for Riverside Pump Station.
Okay, so as you may recall, this was discussed at the May 19th work session. It was a table to allow Tommy to secure another quote. Since then, Tommy has been able to obtain another quote. JWC Environmental is the company that covers Eastern PA. It's the distributor for this particular item. Alltech is our main sewer repair company, and then Geiger Pump and Equipment, which is still not provided us a quote. As you may see, our JWC quote is really the quote to Alltech with Tom's name and info on it. We don't believe we would get the 10% discount that Alltech received, but this would still be a few $100s less than our quote from Alltech. And since we weren't able to, I provided the email, the last email from Geiger, so they have not responded. It's been a little, let's just say, they've been kind of unbudging on trying to give us a separate quote. So
Who's that?
that would be the distributor. So that's what Tommy was trying to do. For some reason, they gave us the Alltech quote, and obviously in the Alltech quote, they would have markup in it. So that 10% is what Alltech got off this.
I'm sorry, I'm not following along here. So this JWC Environmental, there is a 10% discount with that.
It's on the quote, but Tommy and I don't think we're going to get it because it's really Alltech's quote. It's what Alltech would pay for it.
So what is JWC to Alltech?
They are the distributor. Alltech is just a.
So they're going to be the ones to come out and do it anyway.
Alltech, there could be another company that could potentially do it. They are aware of our issues. They did, Tommy and one of the Alltech, they did try to square this away. JWC just kind of wasn't cooperative in trying to get us our individual quote. So my recommendation would be go with the JWC. We're still saving a couple $100. It'll get delivered here, and then we will find either Alltech will install it, or if they're upset with us, then, as Tommy said, we have other companies we can go to install the.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you want to speak to this? Do you have anything to add? Good, okay. All right, does anybody have any thoughts on this? Any questions?
I'm just wondering, for the $200 difference, is it worth, if Alltech normally comes out and does work for us, is it worth antagonizing them over $200? I mean, is there any issue with that?
Not according to Tommy.
Okay.
And like I said, Alltech is aware of what JWC did to us. So it's known to them.
And with this, Alltech is somebody that we're using all the time anyway.
Alltech is our main, they're the outfit that comes,
And we absolutely can't find any other quotes, and this is.
No, it's one of those things because JWC is the actual distributor, and apparently Alltech had to fight for that 10%. So, in most service or retail entities, they have their own markup. So that's why we don't think we'll get the 10%. So I just basically added the 10% back on, but we're still saving a couple $100, and it'll get delivered here instead of getting delivered to Alltech. Because there was markup on the Alltech invoice even for the shipping and handling, so.
I don't know if we want to kind of make a bigger deal out of this. I'm perfectly happy to move forward with Alltech at this point. Anyone have any thoughts?
Well, as I understand, Jason, we are saving some money, and they are going to deliver it here, so that's an advantage over Alltech. Is that how I understood you?
Yes.
Okay, so I think.
And
we
we're
should
not
go
doing this behind
JWC.
Alltech's back, or I don't think at this point Alltech cares, was my impression. I talked to Tommy this afternoon to clarify, because I I thought we were getting this great deal, and he kind of clarified the issues he was having with the JWC. They, like I said, they wouldn't budge, but on giving us our own quote, so. I don't think we're going to burn a bridge with Alltech. That's going to be ultimately their choice, and I've been assured there's other companies that.
Are there other companies? So we're talking a longer wait time? And we've already put this off already? Yeah. So there's a time element in this, okay, I got it, okay. If no one has any objections, I will move forward. Do we
I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, this is the Riverside Pumping Station, which was only put into service about 2.5 years ago. Was this an oversight in the production establishment of that plant, or is this something that failed?
Sorry.
So the one that was installed in the lift station it's a little larger than what that lift station actually needs. So what was happening was the top 3/4 of it, so it's essentially a grinder, right? It chews up any solid stuff that comes in. Well, the top 3/4 of the 2 grinders, which this one's a 12-inch, we're looking to purchase an 8-inch. The top 8 inches of it is completely dry, never sees any kind of, sewer coming in to the wet well. So they're getting rusty and they're chipping off and breaking teeth and stuff like that. And that's the problem that we're facing now. It's been jammed up already because of it. And if any of those, pieces of metal or anything from the teeth get into the pumps, you can kiss our pumps goodbye. So that's why it's like.
Is this going to fix the problem?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, this one's smaller, so it's not going to be as much of it. That's.
Okay.
Is this something that, I'm sorry to belabor this, but is this something that, I don't know whether these things come with warranties, but we're talking literally 2.5 years after it went online. Is this something that should, our engineering, not engineering, the person from Hydroterra who assisted us in the design of that unit, is that an issue with the way it was designed or an issue with the way it was put together? I mean, I'm just trying to see whether we have remediation from
Yes.
the,
So we told Bob about it over the winter, when he was preparing the Chapter 94 stuff. And so he was like, oh, okay, well, maybe we have to, it was like a learning experience for him, I feel, as well. That's what I got out of it. So I think it was just a slight design flaw, and if anything, but.
okay.
Okay, thanks, RJ. I appreciate your input on that.
Thanks, RJ.
Okay, are there any other questions, any other concerns? I'm not seeing anyone. There's a motion before us this evening to accept the quote from JWC Environmental in the amount of not to exceed $12,900. Further authorize the township manager to sign any paperwork necessary to complete the project. Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Supervisor Sachs makes the motion, Supervisor Durena makes the second. All of those in favor, say aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Our next item up on our agenda is an admin request. Oh, we're tabling that this evening, are we not?
Yes, please.
Okay. We are tabling the financing options for the 2027 dump truck purchase, and we are going to move right into the presentation for the fiscal year 2026 budget and mid-year review. Jason?
Okay, so this is the overview of the township's financial performance and major accomplishments through the first 6 months of fiscal year 2026. Overall, the township remains in a strong financial position. Revenues exceeded budget by approximately $229,000, while expenditures remained about $57,000 below budget, and this was for all funds. Our year-to-date revenues total approximately $2.66 million, or 9.4% above budget, reflecting strong collections across several major revenue categories. Expenditures total approximately $2.07 million, remaining 2.8% under budget, despite the inflationary pressures and increased operating costs, obviously, that we've been seeing over the last several years. The township has a healthy fund balance of over $5.5 million and has earned more than $600,000 so far, as far as our net income. Oop. For the fund balance breakdown, each operating capital and special fund revenue remains financially healthy and capable of supporting our ongoing operations and future capital improvements. So this is all very good news, as you can see. Also understanding, while we include the fiduciary funds, the developer escrows, that's obviously not township money. As far as the general fund continues to outperform budget expectations, driven continued by stronger revenues while maintaining our expenditures below budget overall. As far as the highlights for the general fund, strong tax revenue and interest earnings have helped increase our revenue while we are continue to try to control spending despite higher costs in a few of these areas. And these are just kind of listing some of the areas that I've been reporting on a monthly basis that we're running above budget as far as expense-wise. But we have seen some savings. And then just as a reminder, we continue to roll over our CDs, which right now our CD interest is exceeding our budget by $18,000. I just want to note that line striping was authorized by the board, and it is scheduled for September of this year. That's one of the few larger projects that would be coming out of the general fund. The general capital fund, our continued investing in equipment and infrastructure through grant funding, financing, and planned capital improvements. We received our police Ford Explorer through an LSA grant. The board authorized the purchase of a 2018 trailer from our Salford, and we sold our old trailer for $4,000, giving us a difference of $1,500. The new trailer will allow Public Works the ability to move all their equipment around. This was an originally budgeted trailer. It would have been obviously a new trailer, but we had budgeted $33,000, so there's significant savings in there. Board authorized the purchase of a mini excavator, which will be 100% financed. The board also authorized the purchase of a 2027 Peterbilt dump truck, which will be a combination of financing and cash. Park and Recreation had their second fundraiser for the township park improvements. So far, they have raised, this is income, $4,676. Ongoing projects that are still on for this year would be the Cuddy Stormwater Project, the township building sign, enclosed trailer for Park and Recreation, video cameras for township buildings, permit property management software, and new door lock system. And one project that will be carrying over for 2027 is the township parking lot paving, which we did get an LSA grant for, but we want to be able to take advantage and get that out. We're going to have to bid that project, so we want to be able to get it out early next year so we get the best pricing. We were with our other projects this year, we got kind of behind on the paving. All right, this is just the revenue breakdown. Nearly half of all general revenue comes from real estate taxes, followed by our EIT and real estate transfer tax. Our expense breakdown: public safety, public works, and administrative services represent the township's largest expenditures. This chart shows how township funds are spent to provide services to our residents. Sewer summary, or the summary for the sewer fund. The sewer fund remains financially stable, exceeding its revenue budget while essentially matching planned expenditures. So as you can see, we're actually outperforming our expense budget by $549. As far as the sewer fund highlights, we are continuing to maintain the sewer system while completing important maintenance improvement projects such as what you guys approved tonight. As you can see from this, we have been exceeding budget with interest, and we are above budget with our sewer rent, sewer use charges. There was also a lien from a sale of a property. I think the lien was from like 1980, so that was unexpected. Expenses have remained mostly on or around budget, as I've been reporting. We do have a few areas where we're not, but we have received savings with our sludge hauling and repair and maintenance on the sewer plant so far this year. We did start the sewer I&I project, and our 2026 to 2028 sludge hauling award was bid and awarded to Hydrotech this year. And we've had 4 new sewer connections along with the Farm View subdivision, which is nearly completed construction of all their homes. The Sewer Capital Fund, we have ongoing projects still on for this year, which would be video cameras for the sewer plant and pump stations. The board authorized a tank bypass section project earlier this year for the sewer plant, which is actually scheduled for next week. I believe Altech's installing that. Projects that are still budgeted for this year would be UV service and parts for the sewer plant, heater for headworks building, and an awning for the flood barriers. These have yet to be presented to the board. This is the revenue. Oops, sorry. Sewer rental this is sewer revenue breakdown. Sewer rental charges account for nearly all of our sewer revenue fund, which is normal, with smaller contributions from interest and our miscellaneous revenues. Sewer expense breakdown, debt service and operating costs remain the largest sewer fund expenditures, which is normal, reflecting the township's long-term investment with the debt service in our infrastructure. The liquid fuels fund, road maintenance projects continue to progress with significant cost savings. Chip seal work, crack sealing, and road base repairs have remained on schedule. And we made the final payment on our 2021 F-550 truck. As noted here, the Babington Road base repair project, which was completed, will be paid out in July, so it's not in these numbers. We did recognize significant savings as the cost was only $87,000 for the work, while we budgeted a total of $190,000. And that's the final payment. Our open space fund, current available funds are over $530,000. As it does appear, the Barber property preservation through the federal highlands will not be happening. The Open Space Committee does continue to review potential properties and projects. An appraisal was authorized by the board earlier this year for property OSC number 62 at the June 2nd meeting. Other projects, the board authorized engineers to survey Creekside Way for a stormwater project through the low volume and dirt gravel program. This is ongoing. The Act 537 Main Road study draft was completed and sent on to DEP for its review. And multiple policies have been adopted by the board regarding financials. These include fundraising in the township, procurement selling, and donation and sponsorship. The 2027 fiscal year budget timeline. Yes, I'm being ambitious. This is putting us well ahead of where I've been since I've been here. So going through this, I will be preparing the draft budget over the next few weeks. The week of August 3rd, I'll be meeting with the department heads. I plan to distribute the draft budget to the Board of Supervisors the week of August 24th. September 1st would be the manager's fiscal year 2027 manager's budget introduction. I would be looking to schedule an information gathering budget intro, which would be a public meeting with the board between September 2nd and the 18th, much like we did last year. October 6th would be the actual budget presentation. Be looking for November 3rd for the authorization to advertise the fiscal year budget. November 4th, the budget would be available for public review at the Township Building and online. Looking for final adoption on December 1. Obviously, this allows us some time to get through if it doesn't go per the schedule, but I thought it was important to get out ahead and
You're starting it far ahead of time, which is a good sign. So if we needed a little wiggle room somewhere, we actually have it.
yes.
As aggressive as this is, it's doable.
I know it's aggressive. It's certainly aggressive compared to previous years, but I do think it's doable. And the way things are currently working within the administrative office, I'm ready to, this will put us probably a month ahead of where we've been previous,
Excellent.
which will hopefully make the board feel better about. That is
Yeah, we
the
won't have to
plan.
come in the week before Christmas.
That's why, and I don't think it's ambitious shooting for December 1st with the amount of time that the board will
No, no, no.
have to digest if we need any other meetings in between there. Obviously, I did try to work around what our general meeting and our work sessions are, so this is for the record, so I'm on,
Are you going to put this on our webpage?
I can, yep.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, this is working a little back. I shouldn't have had that slide first. I was gonna go through and check, yeah. Any questions or?
I have none at this time. Anyone else?
I just have a comment. I know sometimes when we go from meeting to meeting, it seems like, man, we're not accomplishing anything, but we are accomplishing stuff. So this is a helpful way to kind of remind us all what we did in the last 6 months.
Yeah, that's why I try to add, like, even the mega study. Obviously, there's costs associated, but yeah, we are managing to get a lot done in the midst of all the other stuff, so.
Could you quick jump on Zoom and see if Matt or Vicky are there?
I did see Matt jump on.
Oh, terrific. Okay.
Oops, let me get out of this. Okay, I gotta stop share. I gotta X out of that, I think, because that's still. Okay, so I did see Matt jump on,
There he is.
so.
Are you with us, Matt?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so before we move forward with this, I forgot to disclose in the beginning of the meeting, on July 13th, the Board of Supervisors had an executive session at 2:00 in the afternoon to discuss personnel, and we had an executive session this evening, before this evening's meeting, to discuss real estate matters. Okay. So the item on the agenda here that we move to the bottom. Let me get my bearings. Do you have the paperwork for this? I seem to have misplaced it for the Open Space Committee request.
I didn't give.
Oh, we don't have one.
I didn't
Okay,
give
well, that explains
paperwork.
why I can't find it.
So as
All right.
a prelude to Matt talking about what I did find, and it is
Okay,
in
so you can speak
Dropbox.
to it. All right, go ahead.
The Open Space Committee, and Peter can kind of back this up, because the Open Space Committee was created by a resolution 2021 R-12, the board would have the ability to reduce the number of members by adopting a new resolution, amending the original resolution.
Okay, and I think the request from the Open Space
That being
Board.
said, I would want to look at the underlying state law to make sure there's not a requirement of a minimum amount of people on the Open Space Committee.
Okay, you can double check that?
Yeah. let me-
Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
So I think that the request, Matt, and that the Open Space Board voted on it to reduce the number of members on the Open Space Board from 7 to 5, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. Can you speak to, well, I think Jason pretty much summed it up, that, and maybe you can speak to like the reason and the motivation behind reducing the numbers.
Yeah, the current challenge with 4 members is that we often do not have a quorum. I think we have missed 2 meetings this year, if I'm correct about that. And it is a challenge that all 4 of us have to be present in order to hold an official meeting.
Okay. And have you had difficulty recruiting members to the Open Space Board? Is that also?
There is some interest at this moment that was new in the last session this month. But we would like to proceed with this request for the board to officially reduce our size to 5. If we run into a situation where we would have the ability to come back up to 7, we'd have to ask for that again.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts about the reduction?
No, thanks, Matt. You answered my question, and yeah, if in the future more people are interested, then yeah, go back to 7, but this makes sense.
Yeah, and just to comment, there are two people that are putting their name in for the Open Space Committee that I'm aware of.
Okay.
We can certainly set it up to have a range of members.
So it can flex?
Yes,
Be
so it can
flexible.
flex.
Oh,
And
I
then,
would definitely like to
and
look at
then
that.
it would be, we could say it would be anywhere between 5 and 7. And then the Board of Supervisors, if we appoint 6, or appoint a 7th person, that's how it, we raise it up to 7.
Okay.
But if we just end up, if people resign and we end up with 5, then, we're fine.
Okay. All right. I have no objection to it either. I'll await Peter's investigating at the general meeting. Okay. All right, Matt, we'll put this on our agenda for the general meeting, Marla?
Yeah, so just a quick question then. So if the resolution is written, it could be between 5 and 7. If there are 5 people, then the quorum would be 3. If there's 6 people, the quorum would be 4.
Correct.
And 7, their quorum would be 4. So that just makes it easier for them. Okay, thanks.
All right, any other questions? Okay, well, we'll see this on the next agenda meeting. That's the end of our business for this evening, and do we have time for public comment? Anyone in the public have any comments? Okay, not seeing any. Are there any supervisor comments? Okay, not seeing any. Excuse me.
This is more of a comment, I guess, for maybe our police chief and our engineer. I've noticed that GPS is sending trucks that on our little tiny country roads that are causing a problem for people on those roads. Is there anything we can do about that?
The truckers, commercial drivers are supposed to use a specialized GPS, but it costs a lot of money. So a lot of them just use Google or whatever apps are on our phones. But I believe, strictly speaking, that is illegal for them to do so. And if they're to get into trouble because they're using not an appropriate GPS for their size vehicle, then I think it's a motor vehicle code issue.
Could you give me a little more background to that? This isn't something I'm not
So,
familiar with.
so
Go
I
ahead.
was out on my walk last week, and I viewed an accident between a very oversized truck hauling a very long load that could barely get through the street on its own, and a car was coming the other way. And they both did whatever they could, but there was just not enough space.
And what road was
clearly-
this?
Maine.
I thought so, okay, yeah.
And I said, "Are you going somewhere in the neighborhood?" He said, "Oh, no, my GPS sent me here." And there was just,
It's actually not unusual to have trucks that actually
really
have no
dangerous.
business on Meng Road. I see them going down towards Game Farm, like semis.
yeah.
And I wonder how they're gonna turn when they get to Game Farm. Like, I have no idea how they're winging it.
So regarding the crash on Meg, thousands of dollars of citations have been issued. for the
Okay.
violation.
The one that I witnessed.
Yep. And
Fabulous.
as well as the other trucks.
So he was not supposed to be there.
Between truck road violation and other violations, there's thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Citations that were issued. Other trucks that were catching on the side roads that they're not supposed to be there, they're also being cited accordingly.
Wonderful,
So
thank you.
proper enforcement is being taken. in
Excellent.
hand.
Thank you, Chief.
Yep.
All right, are there any other comments? All right, not seeing anything. This meeting is adjourned.